We are saying happy birthday today to a guy who's been delighting audiences for decades.
We are talking about John Linnell, who is one half of the irreverent indie alt-rock outfit They Might Be Giants. If you look at your screen right now, he's the guy playing the accordion in this photo. The guy on the guitar is also named John.
The band has a devoted following stemming from some hits in the 90s and their contributions to the show Tiny Toons, or the theme song they provided for Malcolm in the Middle.
In 2013, they came here to Portland to play a now-defunct venue, but they did agree to sit down with our Kathleen Shannon.
Istanbul's Constantinople, now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople.
So many people wonder where you came up with the name They Might Be Giants.
It's just the name of a movie. You know, it's a weird movie from the early 70s.
I think they wonder why we came up with the name They Might Be Giants.
Yeah.
More than where.
And it wasn't egotistical.
It's not about us. You know, I mean, the thing is, when you make up your name, it's one of the first decisions you make as a band. And then way down the road, you stop even thinking about what the meaning of the name is. I don't think people stop to consider what a stupid name the Beatles is, you know?
We like to remind people that the Beatles is a kind of a weak name for a band.
It's a dumb name, yeah.
And these things can be overcome in the fullness of time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's going to all happen here in Portland, Maine.
It's all coming together.
So take me back to Constantinople.
The word adventurous comes up when I think of your music over the decades. You didn't shy away from taking what a lot of people would think were risks. Let's talk a little bit about the Wiggle Diskette, which I remember.
Oh, well.
Well, there was you know, the thing was when we started, there was this sort of this least amount at stake. You know, I don't think we were in danger of ruining our reputation by doing anything.
And they were never heard of again.
So in a way, it was this,
They might have been
that was
giants.
more like a what you do to get people's attention, not some artistic caprice like, oh, you know, no, I don't want fans. You know, I mean, the Wiggle Diskette, we were desperately trying to promote our thing, and that was a very inexpensive way. People younger than us have no idea what this is, but it was a plastic, flexible record that you normally would be stapled into a magazine. That was how you normally got. There were ads for collections of records that showed up in magazines.
They're basically disposable records, like disposable plastic records that it cost pennies or fragments of a penny. You get 1,000 for
it was
$40
cheap,
or something crazy.
So they were so cheap that we could give them away, you know.
And it got your music out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
Service.
what would you recommend for artists, musicians that are just coming up?
Get lost.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's
Scram, kids.
The situation is so different now that our advice would almost be necessarily useless. But I think in the one fundamental way, the reason we started doing this and kept doing it was we didn't have any prospects of making money. That's even more true now than it was then. So, you know, for bands that are starting out, you have to actually like it and maybe have a day job so that you can keep doing it.
Did you have day jobs?
We did,
Sure,
yeah.
we did.
I worked, I did graphic design.
What kinds of things did you design?
I worked at Condé Nast. I worked for Self magazine, which is like you know, the cover stories sort of alternate between like how to get a better tan and tanning hurts you.
And what about you, John?
I worked in a dark room, which was nice. I had a door with a lock, so that,
Yeah.
you know, unusual in New York to be a freelance, you know, worker and be able to close out the world.
And I asked you right before we started talking if you had ever been to Maine before. You have to tell, if you would, I shouldn't say you have to, if you would tell the story of Bowdoin College.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not much of a story. It was one of the coldest shows we've ever played, and we were not even prepared. I don't think we even had winter clothes. I feel like we were, you know, we were really seriously unprepared, and we were loading. I remember we were loading.
Our IQs have jumped up since then.
Like way more.
You're going to Maine.
Functionally.
Put on a parka.
in the winter.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
So this was 1986?
Something like that. It was a long time ago. We stayed in the one of the college buildings that the guy, it used to be a sorority house, I can't remember the name of it, but the guy who was our host wrote a poem for us. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah,
and he was a very like classic old Yankee guy.
It was like a bed and breakfasty kind of thing.
That's what it was. Yeah.
It's like we woke up to 25 stanzas.
We got up and he'd written a
like,
long poem on legal paper to recite to us at breakfast.
It's very, very sweet, man.
Which now we miss that every day when we're on tour.
Where's my poem?
I bet that's one of the stranger experiences you've had.
Oh, no. It just keeps on going.
25 stanzas.
It's impressive.
It is. They Might Be Giants, by the way, has won 2 Grammys. They have also been nominated for a Tony Award for the score they wrote for the SpongeBob SquarePants musical. Who knew?